Yeah, so tell us about LatitudeZero. I have first observed you do LatitudeZero, but I've never known, why did you name it LatitudeZero, and how did it come about?
Actually, LatitudeZero, I didn't even come up with the name, but how it came up about when I was in uni, I think in second year of my uni, I started doing beadworking. So I was so curious. I remember, when we were in high school, there's this lady called Damaris. Damaris, at some point when she was in the institute, she was making beads from paper. So when I was in uni, I always wanted to know, how was she making it? That's where my first curiosity actually began.
Yeah.
So when I was in uni, I one of those days I'm seated in my house. It was actually at night, and then I was like, how did she do it? And then I Googled. Make Google your friend.
By the Kwanza, University of YouTube.
University of YouTube. Google everything. So I Googled, and then the first, on the official first search site, the first page, the first link, it took me exactly to how you do it. And then I remember my boyfriend at the time from the uni, he had a campaign at school. So he was running to become a student finance director or something like that. And he had these posters that were remaining. When you want to make paper, those types of beads from paper, you need the glossy paper or the magazine like paper. So the campaign ones were exactly like that. So I take his whatever because were done with the campaign, but the materials were there. We had glue because we were sticking them on walls at school and stuff like that. I took them. I started making the paper out of the beads from the paper. That night I didn't sleep because it's something that came to me at 12 a.m.
There is something about ideas. Once you get an idea, you can't sleep.
You're like, no, I'm not sleeping. I have to finish. So I did it that night. And then I realized the things Damaris used to make, they had what is it called? She used to incorporate the Maasai beads. So I didn't have Maasai beads in my house. But now I was like, I need to do this. And the thing with me, if I start the way you've talked about, if I find an idea, I am usually not at rest until the day I execute it. So it keeps lingering in my mind. So after that, I went to town. I looked for a shop where they were selling those beads. I came across a Muhindi shop, and then he was selling one strand, a very small strand, at 20 shillings. I was like, no, this is not viable. But I think I bought 2. And then a week later, we are walking in town. We walk into a certain chom just in Inikwa streets. And then I find a shop. Outside they had displayed the beadwork. The ones you make from paper. And we go into that shop, and behind the lady, there's all these manner of beads. I felt like I was at karaoke, for those people who know karaoke. She had so many beads, African beads, all these manner of beads, big beads, and the ones you can make earrings. And then I found her, she was making them. So I stayed there. We stayed there for 1 hour with my boyfriend. And then we bought, that time I bought things that were worth 416 shillings. I walked out of her shop. I don't tell her that I don't know how to make I don't know even how to make, but I was observing what she was doing. I didn't tell her I don't have, there's a specific pliers you use. It was called round nose. I didn't tell her I have it. So now we're moving in town looking for a place to buy the pliers. It's a long story, but I'll try and cut the short. So we get the pliers we get, it's not even close. It's a different one, but I have it up to date. It's a different one. And then I go to the house and try it and struggle with that one. We make a few products. The next time I will go to her shop, I tell her, by the way, do you have that? Pliers? And then she's like, you could have said the last time you were here. I sell those ones too.
Okay.
So that's why it began. I started selling in campus. I would go room to room hawking in the evening, and I would see people are interested. Initially, it was quite a challenge, and then eventually people started warming up to stuff. People were making orders. I started making so many things and discovering so much. And then I started teaching people. How to do it so that they could make money, because I was making money. And then I remember I was telling this friend of mine, the one we ended up doing the business with, my business partner, I'll be like, one day when I finish uni, I would want to demystify the idea of people overlooking blue collar jobs, like the hands kind of stuff, because it made me money when I was in uni. And I could see the potential. And people were finishing school, awana kazi, they're looking for work, no work. So I was like, one day I'll start a vocational training school. And 2 years down the line, we started another company with him, a tech company. And then we volunteered in some place in Kakamega. we went there to give them laptops, and then for a weekend I taught the kids in that home how to use a laptop. And then I told him later, I was like, I don't think those kids know how to use that laptop because they've just touched it for 3 days.
Yeah.
And then after that I was like, you know what, during the April holiday I would like to go there for a month to volunteer and teach them how to use computers. So I go there, I teach them how to use computers, and alongside I carry my beads, because I used to have a lot of beads in my house sitting around. I take the beads, I teach them the beadwork. After I'm done with the holiday, I take photos of each kid with everything they had done and the projects they had worked on their computers. We send the people who own the home. They're so excited. They're like, can we hire her?
Oh.
Or what do you want? People ask her what she wants. And so my friend comes to me and they're like, what do you want? And then they were like, you've always said you want to start a school. Do you want to start a school? Or may I think you should start a business?
Wow.
That's how LatitudeZero was born.
So, I have also said the way my friend helped me name the business. Like, it also seems that your friend pushed you actually to see the opportunity in this case.
Because I think actually, now come to think of it, let me give him his flowers. If it was up to me, probably that time, I would have probably been like, let me get paid. And let me give a quote of how much I want to be paid. But this person challenged me. They were like, yeah, we can start a business and we incorporate the tech stuff and the hands-on skills kind of stuff. Yeah, which is what we did.
And how about the name?
The name, I don't even remember the suggestions I gave, but at some point he was like, you're in Kakamega, it is at the equator, call it LatitudeZero.
Wow, so simple like that.
I know, that was the inspo. I was like, LatitudeZero Opportunities. We are trying to make sure we elevate people from zero to a certain place.
Wow.